Hello, welcome on the show, everyone. It's good to be back home, and thank you for tuning in every time. As we say, much, much appreciated. And good to have everybody back on. Heidi, good to have you. How are you doing? Heidi, you're glowing, literally. I don't know what's there. Did you do
Oh my
some?
goodness, thank you. I sat in the sun today. Can you see how I burnt myself?
I see that.
And that's
Oh,
good. Sun kissed, they say.
okay. Wow. Well. Please treat that,
Yes,
build.
yes, I know. I just came back. I sat down with a client in the sun, and that was really good because today is beautiful. The weather is really nice, and I take every chance I have to sit in nature and to sit in the air. Winter is coming, so that's going to be difficult to sit outside in the sun. So I really want to take every chance. So it was good. There's all right. I'm gonna put some aloe vera and put some water to make it go down a little, but it's all good. How are you going, Temi? You were in Adelaide. Tell me all about it. I never got to ask you. Please tell us.
Adelaide has been amazing. I tell you what, I couldn't, when you stay in your city, Melbourne, and you think Melbourne is bubbling, is the best city, it's still the best city, I must say. But Adelaide, just because I'm just patriotic, Adelaide is crazy. The last time
Wow.
I was in Adelaide was like a little countryside, where I went to my Whyalla, Montgambia, Adelaide, because I did 2 years of uni in South Australia. So I didn't realize how it's growing. They never slept. And then there's this festival that they do there. Apparently, it's called Fringe Festival. I went there. It was crazy packed. But anyway, I was in Adelaide because of the mega lines. We went for the insurance conference. Apparently, the insurance, no, apparently, the insurance conference group brokers. They've got clusters of groups of brokers in Australia. So, what's this one called? I always call them Westcott. It's Steadfast. Steadfast is the biggest of the insurance brokers in Australia. So they put conferences together every year, and I've attended so many of them, like in Sydney, in Queensland, in Melbourne, everywhere. So we've done one in, I think, 2017 or so was in Adelaide, actually. So again, this year, they put up ID, fantastic conference. They spend so much money to their conference, like the epic, you know.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. It's really good. I think this I got lots of freebies, and I was on live. I'm like, look at this. They've got everything. What do you want, guys? Can I bring
Yes.
something for you? But anyway, I brought some stuff, and that's gonna go to church on next week, and anybody can take a lot of stuff like charger, bottles, different type of bottles, uh, power banks, and like a lot of stuff was there. So yeah, I came back with lots. So Heidi, you got stuff too. Some
Wow.
diaries and booklets and stuff. It's crazy. It was
Temi,
good.
I love goodies. This is amazing.
I will give you.
When am I seeing you to take all of this stuff and to give you a big hug?
I have to see you either Tuesday anyway because it's too long and I can't do this anymore. I don't know. Your day off is Monday, so I'll see you on Monday. Isn't it Monday?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm praying by God's grace Monday. And then there's a lady that I've been studying about. I got to see her tattoos called Catherine. Um, what's this lady called? Catherine Ellen Spence. Have you heard about her?
No.
I'll tell you about this Catherine Helen Spence. Powerful, amazing. I'm like, I really want to be like this woman. She's really good, and I like what they wrote about her, what she did, and I mean they wrote it on her stone because they said she's a social political reformer. So she changes stuff, like even the political arena. She was a writer and a preacher, Heidi. A
Oh,
preacher,
wow.
and she worked with children. She worked for children. She fight for women. I think she is the first woman in the whole world that even fought for women to be able to vote.
Wow.
What she's hanging
Okay.
around. The parents were from America or so, and they came to here. The father was a court judge, and the mother was the accountant or something, from a noble family, and she did amazing well. Catherine Helen Spence. Oh my gosh, unreal. So I've been going, even though I was in the conference, I was going to the library to Quran bookshop, and I'm getting pieces and pieces of things. So I'm really excited with my life. I can read something.
Oh, wow.
And Liz sent me a video of another woman that I'm looking at. Her name is Gwen Chandler, another preacher. Oh, her own is horrific. I'm going to talk about her, I think, on the 9th of April. That's going to be my
Mm.
topic. I'm going to talk about her, how you think you're doing good and things can just turn around for you overnight. She was this
Yes.
woman, like a millionaire woman. I mean, at a time she sold a book that's worth 5 million or something dollars. Big, and overnight everything went down. Anyway, she had a plane crash with
Oh,
a new husband, and she died. Oh, so sad.
oh my goodness.
Anyway, it's very, very controversial. She was the one that said she doesn't believe in divorce. Nobody must divorce. You must stay with your relationship. And then she divorced. And then she married this playboy called uh, Joe Lara, who was Joe Lara was, the story was spoiled boy from rich home. Anyway, it was trying, and I can't even say this, I have to say it on the night, it's too much. But my this playboy, and then was like a Cinderella wedding. It was crazy ID. And then you know what she said? She said, "Oh, thank God that God give room for some divorces." You know, The- the- before you said no divorce, all of a sudden
Yes.
I could tell you about this woman. I've read about her like a lot. I can talk about her forever. But there's a whole lot of lessons to be learned, Heidi. When you're preaching, you gotta be mindful that what you live by what you preached, and let God lead you. That's why we not preach anything that God does not lead me, or I'm not convinced, I'm not going to preach it. I'm not like that. I
Yes.
know
Yes.
that I know till I die, I will stick with this principle. So don't change principle to suit you. I'm not judging her, but her story is horrendous.
Wow.
On,
Wow.
on,
Mm.
on the night, yeah, I've got quite a lot of things going on. Let you
That's
know.
perfect, Demi. You always have a lot going on.
It's unreal. And tomorrow night, I'm speaking on a podcast on a platform of a lady. She's just started this talk show. Tomorrow is the first premiere, and I'm going to be talking on that podcast. I'm looking forward to it. I like it when women are coming out and doing something, challenge themselves. Just she could say, "I'm shy. I don't want to go on that camera," but she's desired this all her life, and now she's doing it. So tomorrow night is going to be amazing. 8 o'clock. I will share it. I'll share the link as well.
Yes, please. That would be great. Amazing, Temi. You're doing great things.
Aren't we all doing great things?
Yes, yes, that is so good. Well, you know what? Well done. I celebrate you, my friend. You're
Thank you.
you're changing the world, and this is the powerhouse you are. Well done.
You've been saying this. Many of you have been saying all this while, but I've been shying away from it. But I think, when it's time, it's time. If God says you have to step out, you have to step out. So that's it.
And
Step
and
out.
you know what, Temi? It's really interesting you say that. You think you're stepping out. I don't think you are. I think you're going in.
Oh, okay.
Really, you are going in because
Oh,
this powerhouse, it's not
yes.
outside you. It is
Right.
nowhere outside you. This powerhouse is right there within. And all what you're doing is that you're stepping into your own powers. You're going in. You're not going out. You're
Okay.
going in. Yes. And the more you connect with that place and that space, there is nothing's going to stop you. You are unstoppable simply because you're connecting to God. That's
Yeah.
it. Because
Amen.
who gave the power? Who's putting that power? Yes. There you
My
go. So I love that. I love that. Every time I witness you and you're stepping in, every
dad.
time I witness that, I praise your creator.
I'm stepping in. That's a new one. Thank you, IG. I'm gonna go on a quick break, and I think Miss Greatness is around the corner as well. We'll be back.
Okay.
Welcome on the show. Welcome on the show. I don't know where Miss Greatness. It looks like she's in a plane. How are you, Miss Greatness?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
See, we are all radiating. We're good.
Yes.
Yes, I can see that. I hear the good news and I'm equally celebrating in the car. I'm like, wow, listen to that. These
Definitely.
girls are rocking the earth. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. We look forward to hearing from you, Temi. You've definitely absorbed a lot. Sounds like it. We're waiting for you to ooze.
From
Ooze
inside
it
out.
out. Yeah.
I know. They said your word will tell people what you think, but your action will tell them what you believe. So you really need to put an action to your talk. They will
Yes.
hear you when you talk, but it's just a talk, and talk can be cheap. But your action we show them what you believe in. So I think it's time to start actioning what I believe. And I tell you, I like to play, you know how we were trained to be humble, play gentle, don't even say anything about yourself. And so I strongly live by that for a long time. But my coaches are like, no, if you've got wealth and you've got wisdom, you need to share it and I like to give all that I have. So it's not just about physical thing, it's about intellectual as well. What have you got to give? So I'm embracing this new season of giving and sharing.
Well done. Good on
That's
you.
beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful, Tammy.
Thank
It's when you give that you realize, where else you need to fill up.
you. Right.
Otherwise, you're sitting with everything that you have and you don't realize where the gaps are because everywhere you look, it's already full.
True.
So if
Absolutely.
you give, then you realize, oh, okay, I need to fill up here. I need to fill up there. So good on you.
See the wisdom. Let's That's really good. Thank you for sending me the Gwen Chandler's no information. I've divulged everything. You got no idea.
Wow. Wow.
Everything, like seriously, and I've written pages and pages on Gwen, and
Oh,
there's a
okay, that's good.
lot to learn, quite a lot to learn. Number one, as a woman of faith, we need to, like I was saying before, you need to stand by what you believe. If you're not really sure, if by peradventure in the future you're gonna change your stand, don't preach it because you'll be judged by that. But never mind. Thank you. Today's topic, though, let's go to today's topic. I'm excited, and I need to say thank you to Boss Ability. They've been buzzing out like crazy. These people are like, Temi, no, no, no. So, Boss Ability, thank you. They're taking over all my accounts. They said, no, we need to, oh gosh, have mercy. But anyway, thank you.
That's good.
Yeah. So let's go to today's topic anyway. And did you get time to research about this? I don't think you need to research about this because this is the life you live.
Yes, yes, yes. I always, read the topic and then, think about it. But actually, a lot of our topics I wanted to research because I wanted to know like the ins and outs of it. Like when we talked about abuse, when we talked about relationships and marriage and that. So many topics that, when you actually have some insights into the statistics and the figures and all of this, it gives you a lot of information about the importance of it. So Yes, so some of the topics really need to be researched properly, and some, they're very innate, and the wisdom, I have so much grounding in it. So it all depends on the topic.
Yeah, that's true. And I looked at all the topics that we have treated. How many? Quite a lot. And I'm thinking some of them we probably need to actually redeal with, because we have not uh, we have not dissected everything, if you know what I mean.
Yes, that's
Like,
true. That's true.
we need more to inject into those topics, because they lot. We just talk about it an hour. It's not enough to finish
That's
everything.
right.
So I think some of the ones, like abuse, for example, someone, we had Fer Wale. She was good with that one, but we need to do more with some of the topics, I reckon. Mm. So Liz, you had a look at this parental. I know that you have all these people that you parent, and that even though some of them are still in Africa, we still pray for them. We still deal with their issue. You still ring them during the university what they want to do with their lives, and put counselors in place. You're doing quite a lot with these people. So I say you got a number of children that you parent, and the influence. And I really want us to look at this parental influence from the aspect of Westerners and outsiders, because the way we parent from where we come from, it's different from the way I parent is different from the way Heidi we parent, for example. So that's where I want us to look. I'm going to be looking at the way I was parented, and the way I parented I parent, sorry. And all of you can just chip in, and the pros and cons of it. Somebody was really actually wanting us to talk more about this, so that they can have a midway where how they can manage, because they struggle with their youth particularly.
Mm.
Yeah, and their career. So I'll let you go first, Heidi. Somebody asked a question last time, if you remember. He says, I'm a sole trader, and do I have a career? Remember that question? Is that a career? Because I have a business, but I don't have education or something. I don't know. So career, what's career,
Look, a career is basically something that you do, that you give into the society or the community, and then you get money back for whatever it is that you're doing. This is what a career is. Now, a career is not something. A career is not a tattoo. It's not stuck to you.
I
You
like how
know.
you define that. I
Yeah,
like
a career is something that you can change every day if you like.
that.
And this is why a career is so important, that it's versatile, and that it will suit your needs at any point of time, at any stage of your life. When I first graduated from university, the obvious career for me was whatever it is that I graduated from uni for. And then later on, when I had the girls, I wanted to have a different career, because I was going to um, you know, run my company with my ex-husband at that time. And then a different career when I was, off all of that, and I run my own business, and I had a choice of, having a jewelry shop and a jewelry business somewhere, and then a different career altogether right now. So it varies, Temi. It varies. I'm gonna speak into the fact that us parents, or our parents, influence our choices of careers. And I'm going to say my story. All I wanted to do when I finished year 12 was to go and do a child care
You said
um,
right. You
thing.
did.
And my father didn't like that. He goes, "What do you mean? You got a high ATAR and you didn't get into medicine, so you go into engineering." So I went and I did that. The thing is, um, I wasn't really allowed or validated in my choice of career at that time. So comes to my daughters, for example, my older daughter that went to uni last year, she would ask me, "Mom, advice." No, no.
Really?
Zip, silent. Yes, I don't want to even advise. Because why should I influence someone else's choices? Yes, she's my daughter, but she's not an extension of me. She's
Whoa.
not. She is a different soul altogether, and she is having her own human experience. Yes, she came through me, but that's it. She came through me, and that's it. I'm not going to influence her choice of career. Why should I? Like, influence her choice of career, and then she does this career, whatever I influence, and then what if she's not happy, or what if she's struggling, or what if she's that's not her calling? So she started with something last year, changed it this year. Okay, and I'm still silent.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
not going to influence.
okay. Heidi, I'm just gonna this is mind blowing that you said zip it, because we never zip it where I come from. We never zip. In fact, we originated it because we born you. We know what you are good at. That, that's what you're gonna do, and that's still very hard for even me. Even when I'm quiet, I'm like, I will say it by style. I will still have to say it because, you are my own child and you're part of me. You are everything that is different. It's crazy. Liz, I'll let you go.
Yeah, well, I saw the topic where you were proposing we should have a look at should I pursue a career, or is what was the other one?
Oh,
Career versus passion, or I don't know.
oh, that's right. That's right. Uh,
Yeah,
different.
so
Yeah, I remember
I,
that
I
talk.
was yeah, I was kind of thinking, you know, to encourage the young people, or even this person who was talking about, if I'm a sole trader, do I have a career?
Right.
The way we look at career is, when you maybe get into the corporate market, the
Thank you.
world of work, and you maybe start as a customer service agent in a company, be it a finance company, for instance, and you make a progression from where you are, maybe doing a diploma in accounting, and eventually, you progress to becoming an accountant, and then we kind of think, or we tend to say that's a career. From there you move on, you've even added a few more degrees to your um, academic achievements, and then eventually probably you climb the ladder, even if it is in another company, and you become an executive, finance this, or financial analyst, or whatever. But you see how you progress in a particular industry, and
Right.
then that's when we tend to say you've got a career, and that's how you progress. um
Okay.
in terms of how I would pursue that, by saying, looking at your passion, is I'd rather encourage people to have to do both concurrently.
Okay. Hmm. That's
look
good.
look at yeah look at what else you are interested in as a person. Career, maybe, as Heidi says, she's not encouraging, but at least the girls are looking at something they can professionally do, go study for, and maybe go and do. But is there something innately that they are also interested in, that is not necessarily, in the line of a what we call, the industries that are out there, but maybe a support service that can, bring in some money, that, triggers your interest, like, the other daughter that has got a cake business that she does with her own hands, in her own, in the kitchen at home.
Mhm.
That's passion, and it's value adding. How can you value add your own passion, rather than, just playing dolls. But how can doll playing be value added? What else can you do with those dolls that can, you know, add
Mm.
value to your passion, so that it's not just a matter of sitting at home and, crocheting. Or is it yeah, it's crochet,
Crochet, yeah,
um so if there is a passion, if there is something that you really want to do or are doing besides what you are, passionately going and studying for, I would say look into how that can be value added. Reason being, the sooner you value add that, the sooner you will also start reaping benefits, both from your career as well as your passion. What we have done, those of us from our generation, we've left our passions
yeah,
unattended to.
yeah, yeah,
We played it down. We did not think about value adding. We
yeah.
considered career. We wanted to progress,
Hmm.
which we did. Some of us, some, people unfortunately didn't, but most of the people did progress
Right.
career-wise. But eventually there comes a time when you start thinking about, is this all there is about me? Is this all there is to life? What's gonna be my legacy? If my finance career, for instance, can give me a consulting opportunity that I can do from, the house that I probably bought, with the proceeds that I was making from my career, that would be good, because then, I have an opportunity to take the knowledge further. But if, the career that you pursue ends with your retirement when you're 65, you've got a problem.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason why I'm going to say the sooner you start considering what else you can do, or how you can value add on some of the things that you like doing, the easier and the sooner it is for you to even benefit from that as well, rather
I,
than just focusing on your career and, putting all your eggs in that basket. And, you've got a lot of time that passes by the time you realize you've really lost out on time to be able to value add properly.
I heard everything you said. It's interesting, but I would like ID to speak to that, because what I heard you saying was that, um, you don't need to start from that high. You can even start being an attendant and then do a course and then graduate and then progress. So career doesn't mean to go bank and that's all. Just go to the university and that's all that is in it. And also to leverage your skills, like the ID's daughter that is in at uni now, she's a makeup artist, but who I don't know if the career has put that makeup on a hold now and it's hard to do concurrently. So what you're saying now is, and that's where I come in as a parent, can we, I don't want to use the push. Can we influence anything? Because, like you said, time is going and your situation can change now. Maybe things happen and then you lose your passion for that, your main passion and stuff like that. But we'll go on a quick break and I'll be back. Welcome back on the show. And thank you for sticking there with us. But the topic this week is, as a parent, can you influence the career of your, especially the youth, the 18 years old, the ones going into the uni as in per Australian standard? Can you influence their choice of career? and the pros and cons. I want to talk about the reason, picking from where ID, stopped. ID was saying that, she zip her mouth and she's not going to say anything. I just cannot comprehend that because, and I know this saying that say if they're big enough to make a decision, then they're big enough to stick by it. No, if they're big enough and they're still staying in my house, I'm influencing everything really because I know my first daughter went to uni, for example, to do science. She did science for 2 years. And then she decided, I don't want to do science again. I want to do dentistry. And then she went to, that one. She finished as an oral therapist. And then she finished that. And then I want to do law. You know, Naturally, I know she will have been good with law. She's very cerebral. She's very logical. And I've been saying that, but now I want to do that. Okay, you're good at science, that's fine, but stick by. The thing that why I said that, Heidi, is the amount of money they're owing X is a lot of money, but they don't realize that. You're just changing courses, you're changing so, but you're piling up X, and by the time you now establish, you're paying back all this money that you've accrued, and then it puts pressures on you. Then you want to do two jobs to pay off this debt and to live a life. That is why I think, as a parents, we probably need to push a little bit, because these kids, they think they know everything, but at some stage they might not know everything. So the pros there is they're gonna listen. I've worked this out and I've been talking to people. The thing is, if you influence them, they blame you. If you don't influence them, they blame you anyway. There's this blame game is universal, it's everywhere like blanket. They blame parents. They still blame and they will continue to blame forever and ever. Good luck. Who cares? We don't care anymore. I don't. You can blame me for all, blame me for all you care. I'm trying my best. The thing is, the amount of debt they're going to incur, is it necessary? Because where I'm coming from, I listen to my friends say, oh, I've taken my child to the vice chancellor of the university or whatever, to give a position because she's a good accountant. And the kids follow their parents. They follow their parents. I don't know about you, at least in Namibia, but in Nigeria, you take your children to all these schools. You want to go to polytechnic, we take you. You get the form, we fill the form, you get offer, you go. We're filling the forms together. Where I come from, and the parents are saying, "There, put account in there." Yes, mom. Yes, dad. And the thing is, they're turning out good. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not saying the ones they are not turning out good, but they meander. I can see them meandering, going around and around, because this parental influence is not there. We cannot talk. If we talk, there's a problem. They know too much. But I'm saying they probably don't know too much. Some of them are good, but most times they just change and change. Oh, I'm bored now. I can't be bothered now. No, nobody does that. In where I come from, you go to uni, every day you go, you pack your. No one says I'm bored now. I've never heard it before. Going to uni, it's your choice. So, but maybe because the parents help them from there, and anyway, we have a target. You go to uni, you get job, you work for 2 years, you travel a bit, you marry. That's it. Finish. Unlike here in Western world, you take a gap year and then you go to uni and then you change your course and then anyway you want to live your life. All these stories of individualism, it does not exist where I come from. Parental influence, they blame us will be one of the the problem there. They will blame you. What else? When the debt come, isn't it going to affect you too? They will come back to you and say, Mom, I'm stressed. Dad, I'm tired. I have to pay this money. But then when we're advising you, you were changing courses. They all change courses, Liz. And then they stop. And then they say, no, I want to work now anyway. I can't be bothered again. And then they go back. And time is going. I know that, maybe Heidi doesn't believe in time is going. How do you truly, Heidi, do you truly don't want to say anything, or do you want to say something but you don't want to say so you don't get blamed? What?
Okay, Temi, can I be honest and can I be deep?
Go deeper, Mama.
All right. Okay. You mentioned where you come from.
Yeah.
And I can mention where I come from,
Yeah.
but
Let's go.
truly, truly deeply. Where we all come from is a different place altogether. Where we all come from is a soul. We are a soul having a human experience. And
Now we
what
know.
sorry?
Now we know. At the time, we don't know that. We're just a product of a nature and nurture. We don't
Yeah.
know what you're saying. This is modern exposure. When we're
So
growing up,
so I am right now, right here, a soul having a human experience. Now,
yeah,
this soul having this human experience, what does God require from you and me?
I've got the
Have
answer.
you ever seen anywhere a scripture about what God requires you as a soul to be here on earth? What kind of achievements, what kind of money you make, what kind of certificates you have, and what kind of life you establish?
Yeah, no,
There isn't. You know why? Because you are not required any of that.
that's true.
You are, the only thing you are required to be really is have a pure soul. Just
Yeah,
keep going in this life with a pure soul. Have
yeah,
this human experience and come out beautiful and blessed and expanded, and that's it. Now, that's what I look at when I talk to my daughter.
I get it.
I
Yes,
don't look at her and see her as the person that came through me. I see a soul having her own human experience. And so, who am I to tell this soul, this is what you need to do? What if she does this? And what if I influence her and then she's not happy?
that's true.
What if her soul is not fulfilled? What if she's not being um, expanded that way?
It's true.
What if
No,
I hold her back with
yeah,
my advices? You know
yeah,
what? I'm going to be honest. I do advise only when I'm solicited, but I don't give advices unless I am. And when I am, I don't give solid advice. Go and do this, or you better do that, or you're really good at this. All I do is that I sit there and I ask questions.
I
So,
love
what do you think you are really good at? What do you enjoy most in your life? What would you do and you keep doing without getting paid and you still be doing it for the rest of your life? What brings joy to your heart? What makes you bigger? What makes you expansive? What makes you fulfilled? And how can I help you develop the expansion and the fulfillment and the pleasure more? That's what I ask. And
I
when I see that answers, I extract these answers, I help her put them all together. And that's my role.
I really like that. I really like your role. And you ask, what are we supposed to do? I think you might have seen my post 2 days ago when I was talking about Proverbs, is it 3:3, that says, when you listen to the command of the Lord, He will give you life and He will give you a fulfilling life. That's the only way to by the command. And He also says, if you're kind and you're loyal. First of all, you're loyal to him, and then you come down, you're loyal to people. Then, it will make everything abound. So, men and women, you will have favor, really. Whatever we're enjoying on on this earth is favor. You know that? It's favor. It's not
Yeah.
that you could have the most biggest certificate in the world and don't do much with it. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So Korea really is not, like you said, Heidi, it's not in the Bible about that. It just says that if you're kind, if you're loyal, it will give you a satisfying life. And it says, man and God will favor you. And the favor will make you to sit with the king and the queens. Is the favor of God. So I agree that. But as a believer of the word, Bible also says, the same proverb says that you should teach your children the way they will go. When they grow up, they will not depart from it. And I know that's, you're talking about control. In our time, it was control. We were really controlled. But, I said again sometimes, thank God that we were controlled, because if people like me weren't controlled, I will be outrageously disgraceful. So thank God I was controlled, our time. But Liz, what do you say when the Bible says, teach your children the way they will go? When they grow up, they will not depart from it. That is the kind of thing I thought we're trying to do by influencing or their career pathway as well.
I think that is definitely one of it. I don't necessarily, I did not put a career path as one of those. It was more a introducing your children to God and to a godly life. And as they go through their life stages,
Mhm.
sometimes they forget that, I learned about this when I was younger, but eventually there comes a time when they sit back and what they learned as a child draws them back to God. That is how I understood that scripture back then. In the context that we are talking about, obviously, teach the child in the way the child should go. And as they grow older, they will not depart from it. I mean, you can teach a child um, in terms of good behavior, acceptable behavior,
Yeah, good.
and how that is going to fit into a career path that they will take. I don't think we can teach a child into a career that they should take, because as we grow, we change.
Mhm.
You may see certain traits in a child in a particular phase, and as the child grow, there are other competencies that will come up. So you don't want to mold your child into a career path that they probably may outgrow. But you
That's
may want to mold your child generally into acceptable practices as a human being, regardless of what career they would be taking. Greeting somebody is an acceptable practice.
Mhm.
Smiling to people is an acceptable practice. Serving others is an acceptable practice. If we can inculcate these acceptable practices that cut across different careers and industries, I think that will take the child, you know, um, further than just developing a child for a particular career, because you've no idea whether that child is going to stick to that, or they're gonna outgrow it anyway. Because I mean, as Heidi would almost daily say, we are all growing and we are all changing every day.
In fact, thank you so much for saying that. Really, I'm hearing, is career really the ultimate? Is career, on why do we invest so much energy and effort and all that into the career? We're gonna go on a quick break and we'll be back. Welcome back on the show. We're talking about parental influence on youth and career pathway, the choices that they make, the pros and the cons. And I actually really like this topic and the way we're going. We're going really deeper into it. I love what Liz just said. And I think that is what I was saying before in the Proverbs 3 when it was talking about be kind, be loyal, and instead of focusing on the career, we teach them acceptable practices, and these practices is universal. I'm saying that if you go on the street and see people that are looking morose and sad and you smile, sometimes they might not open their teeth, but they will They will smile somehow. They will smile inside. Nobody, there was this joke that someone was doing, hugging everybody in America. So you'll be going and we just do this before you realize you already hugged, and you're like, oh, why did I hug? It's just unconscious, you will just hug somebody. And what I'm hearing and what I really, really solicited for is acts of kindness. And I think we don't do it a lot. Kindness to yourself, kindness to your immediate family, even rather than focusing, I've got study, and your brother is sick and you don't even care because you got study. You know what I mean? Little things like this build up. I know when my kids were at school, there was a time they needed to go to the Philippines to go and feed the poor. They need to go to Nepal to go and feed. These things are really good. But what I also want to solicit is for parents to harness that. That is an opportunity already for you. Because if you call your child who is 18 and doing VC and say, let's go and feed the poor, they might not want to go. But school, they will listen to in terms of this because you have to go as part of the curriculum. So when they go, listen to what they say when they come back and then encourage them because this kindness is the career that you need to have, by the way. It's the only career I almost want to say. So every other thing will be added onto it when you have that career of kindness, and then every other thing will happen to it. So I want to say, why do we then worry so much? Like Heidi said, we changed career. I mean, I was initially a secretary. I did secretary administration, and then I did nursing, and then I did training. I trained, and then I did childcare. I opened childcare. I did. I kept on evolving, and I'm enjoying it. You know. And then my husband said you have to go and do insurance, and then I had to do a couple of competencies in insurance so I can even do anything in insurance. And I'm enjoying the versatile experience that I'm enjoying. So it's okay. We don't need to kill ourselves about you know just focusing on career. And I'm gonna say those. How do we encourage parents with the act of kindness to encourage their children? Do we have to be the examples, or do we just teach? Because that is important, isn't it? Because that the reason why the children will not listen to you sometimes is when you just teach them, but yourself you're not doing it. So I would like us to speak into how can you be conscious in what you do in yourself, because the truth will always come out. You can only pretend so far. The truth will come out. How do we purge ourselves of all impurities and to be able to teach our children in the way they will go, not just hiding. Go on.
Yes, that's a really, really, really good question. And you know what? This is the question, Temi. The question I ask myself all the time when I see my daughters doing something, or when I want to, interfere because of some reason, I ask myself, who do I need to be right now? Do I need to be their best friend? Or do I need to be their mother? Or do I need to be their teacher? Or do I need to be their coach? Or do I need to be their nurse, driver, cook, whatever? Who do I need to be now to serve my daughter right here in this situation? Who do I need to be? This morning, I was my daughter's daughter this morning because I asked her if she can take me to the city by train and tram and all of that. And I don't do public transport. So I said to her, please teach me. So I went with her. She was holding my hand in the city, showing me how to get trains and where to see them on the app, and where to go, and how to catch this train and then get down and do all of that. Now, when I was looking up at her, I was actually learning. She was teaching me, and
Good.
I was receiving the teaching, and I was really grateful for it, and I was very like teachable. And so this is who I needed to be. I needed to be her student. And she was so proud of what she was doing. And this is something that, I don't get to experience a lot because I'm always taking the other roles. But for me to experience something like that with Anna, she felt so good. She was so happy that she was teaching me these things. And then, like, this is my first city experience in public transport, and in my first time in Melbourne Central, my
What?
first time in the Emporium, my first time in years, like 11 years or 10 years or something. And she was teaching me all of that. And I was there receiving the teaching, and I was learning. You see, that was so beautiful. Who do I need to be, Temi? That is the question. Who do I
Right.
need to be right now to serve my daughter? Who do I need to be? And sometimes it means I need to be a student. It's like when I don't understand something, I sit there to listen. I don't understand how my daughter, who's in year 12, that's me, okay? I don't understand how she is in year 12 and
Mm.
she doesn't know what she wants to do next year. I don't understand that because I just don't understand it. Now, what I do is that I sit and I ask, please explain to me. Well, you're halfway through. Are you halfway through? No, I'm not. Okay, well, when you're halfway through, will you know? Will you have any idea what you want to do? She goes, no, I may not have any idea till the end. I'm going, oh,
Love it.
okay, that's all right. And I'm going, will you have any idea around September when you have to put your preferences in? She goes, I might. And I might change them again. And I'm going, wow, okay, you know what? Teach me more because I certainly don't know what that is like because that's her, not me.
Heidi, can I say something? Your girls are so smart and they are smart you. I'm sure Anna knows, but she's not gonna change her words for you. She knows. Trust me. She knows, but she won't tell because again she knows she might change tomorrow, she might change, and then we'll be discussing her on the show like Anna changed 10 times. So now she's smart. She's not gonna tell you, and then she'll do it. But I
Yes,
really do you know how much I like this show? I think I'm growing myself on this show really because
yes,
this type of talk is not where you just get by the roadside. I'm really grateful for this platform. I'm telling you, because one of the things you said, I like, what are you supposed to be if your daughter is showing you city? I'm like, that's a food for thought. I don't care if you're showing me city, you're my child. I still tell them off, like, why are you running? Why do you have to pull me? Why did you do? I don't listen to them because in my head, they're my babies. But really, and they tell me though, they tell me, Mom, are you gonna listen or not? Because we're not gonna teach you if you're not listening. I'm like, you're gonna teach me by all means. You have to teach me. Like seriously, I like this because really we were evolving and things are changing, and our children are not us, and we're not our parents, and we don't live where we're born. Now
yes,
we're here. Even the kids say, "Why do you want me to change to behave like you when you were in Nigeria when I don't even know what you're talking about?" Quite
yes,
unfair. But I
mm,
said that a lot of us we still live in that dark age when we still say, "You're teaching me, but you are my daughter, and I can give you across the face," and all that. So put a caution there. They're not controlling you, you're not controlling them. We're just appreciating and validating each other's wisdom because truly the kids are wise, and I really dock my heart to them. They're very smart. Where when 18 years is talking to me, I'm like, 18 years, my gosh, I don't even have a clue because I have to wait for mom to tell me this or that to tell me this. Most of us from where I come from were majorly controlled, but we didn't know that it was control, which is thank God we live by, and we feel that we're successful. And some of us are even still grateful that we were controlled because truly some of us would be in jail if we went. But these kids now, they're smarter and they're wiser. They do things that might seemingly dangerous, but they have calculated risk, if you know what I mean. They know the answer, they researched it, they've done all that. We didn't have opportunity to research in our time. We have two books in the library. Only the rich one gets it. So these days is different where we are, and I'm grateful that you can put that wisdom into it. But so when your daughter take you to the city and show you the train and trams, they they teach her. They your mother, they teacher. Liz,
Yes.
is that fascinating?
Um, yeah, absolutely, absolutely fascinating and really beautiful in its own way, you know. Heidi, you're really doing a very, very beautiful thing with your daughters, you know, by playing the different roles that you play
Mm-hmm.
and an attitude that you have adopted, you know, to be in the moment and to be the person that the moment requires you to be with
Yes.
a girl. You know, when it comes to how we give ourselves into the situations, and particularly when it comes to the career aspect of things. I just want to bring this quickly to the table. You know, there's this story that they tell about a frog that, you know, if you put it in hot water, it
Yeah.
adjusts its own temperature. So it doesn't realize that the water is really getting hotter, because the hotter the water gets, the more it adjusts the
Yeah.
temperature
Yeah.
of the body. So it literally adjusts the coping mechanisms within
Mm-hmm.
until it can't anymore. You know, the water probably gets to a boiling point and exceeds how far the frog can adjust or can cope. And at
Mm-hmm.
that point, the frog has done so much to adjust itself that it's actually tired. It can't jump out anymore. Now that's the point where the frog, you know, burns and gets to die. And that's what I don't want us and our children to be in our careers, you know, pursuing a career, coping under circumstances that you know, we think this is where I was supposed to exit, and in the process giving all our time, all our energy to what we call, you know, our bosses and the commercial sector. And by the time that you have to come and do something for yourself, you've outgiven so much of you. You are, you know, you've literally nothing left to even give yourself in terms of your time and your energy. You're old, you know, your skills are outdated, and you just can't give anything to yourself. I think I want us to guard against that phenomena, that we are opening our eyes so that we should exit where we have to exit while we still have got something left for ourselves to give to us and to those we care for.
That is fantastic. Wow. I love that. Thank you so much. What a wisdom, And I think basically to wrap it up, we're saying as parents, be kind to yourselves, be kind to your children, respect them, especially when they're wise enough. They don't even need to be 18 years, they can be wise. At my 4-year grandchild is as smart as 7, 8, 9 years old. Very, very intelligent. So if they're wise enough to ask a question, they're big enough to get the answer. And if the answer is yes, mom, I don't know now, whatever, then that's what it is. But really be kind to them and teach them to be kind, and also live that life of kindness. Career will fade, everything will fade, but what will be left for you is what you sown. What have you sown? We're gonna have to go now and end the show there. Next week is gonna be 4 o'clock next week, and looking forward to an amazing, amazing session. And I think, ID, are you starting next week? Am I? Is it me next week? No, ID is coming with an amazing topic. Wait until you get this crazy. ID is always bringing some serious stuff. But we're going to go right now. I was going to show you quickly what is happening tomorrow there. Temi is speaking. I don't know. It's on the Facebook page. If you can just check it out. It will be live tomorrow, 8 p.m. But on that note, we're going to say thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And we appreciate your time.
Good night.
Miss Greatness, I can see something on your name there. It looks like the crown of a queen. You're living your life. All right, we're going to go now. We'll see you next week. Ciao for now. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Goodbye.